Do you compete in a niche that you see already has strong lead gen site in it? Say market with 240,000. I'm thinking I should only do this if I'm willing to put in the time and money in it. Yeah, I'll compete. I'm not afraid. Here's the one thing. This is something that I think this is really good for you guys to hear. So check this out. Let's take, I'll just take somewhere close to me, Sacramento, California. And if someone wants to Google it, we can. But let's just say tow trucks as an example, because it's top of mind. I bet you there is 20 plus tow truck companies that are in Sacramento. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing based on the size, it's probably got to be like somewhere in that area. So take this as like a, well, take it for however you want. Imagine buying a tow truck that's $100,000 to get a tow truck or more. Okay, nice tow truck. That's just one, by the way. A lot of times they're gonna have more than one. And imagine you looked at the marketplace. You're coming into Sacramento. Imagine there's just 15 at the time, or 10, or 5. Imagine spending $100,000 on a vehicle, knowing that you got to compete against 5 or 10 other people. Okay, in that same space, in that same market. The interesting thing, and the thing that I've always told myself when I look at a market, it might be a little bit more competitive, is like, look at the guts on the business owners that went into that market knowing that there was 10 or 15 or 20 or 30 or 50 or 100 other businesses in the same exact niche selling the same exact service, and look at the amount of money they invested in their businesses, knowing full well that all those competitors existed. And then I look at our business and I realize how good we have it. We don't have to buy no $100,000 truck or a fleet of them, or a fleet of limos or whatever, right? Where a lot of these business owners are build out a building, or sign a long-term lease. A lot of times if there's a good lead gen property in a marketplace, these other companies are still making money. You're not putting anyone out of business by entering the marketplace. And the other thing is the cost to get in, even though, for us, we have it so good because we work our businesses from a laptop or from a computer. It's so minimal what our costs, our barrier to entry is. I would always just say walk a mile, or try to walk a mile in the business owner's shoes that you're selling to, because it will actually make you a better local business consultant / lead generator when you look at it that way. What risks did they take to get into business? And then what risks am I willing to take to get into business? And if they're severely off, then it's time to maybe, this isn't necessarily for you, Jamie, this is for everyone. It's time to severely look at ourselves on our risk tolerance. I talked about risk tolerance the other day, about just how good we have it and just how much these business owners that you're selling to, the incredible risks that they've taken, the stresses that they've taken to be in business. And, we are in business for less than $10,000 basically. That's unheard of. It's actually laughable. In fact, I was talking to Ipe about franchises today, and I was saying, I just look at some of the numbers that some of these students in this group, the numbers that they're ripping out a month, 20, 30, 40, 50, $100,000 in profit per month. And I'm like, if people that bought franchises knew that these are some of the numbers that some of the students that have went through this training are pulling out per month, and that we told them how much just the training costs just to get it, they would laugh us out of the room because it was too inexpensive. I've talked about this before, about how sometimes when you sell stuff for too cheap or too inexpensive, people don't even believe it's true because it's too cheap, it's too good to be true, right? And so just remember that stuff when you think about going into a market and spending some money and putting yourself out there. Just remember to walk a mile in the shoes of the business owners that you guys are selling to, because they take some incredible risks, big business loans, all sorts of SBA loans, all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's really smart for you guys to always have things put into context. So to answer your question, yeah, I don't think it's a problem, because I know that if I go into market with 20 tow trucks as an example, all 20 of those people are still feeding their family. All 20 of those businesses are still thriving or making money to some capacity. Some more than others, of course, but it just shows me how much meat is on the bone, how much money is out there in a single zip code or marketplace in one singular niche. If you want to get jacked up about something, I want you to think about that. In one niche, in one zip code, there might be 5 or 10 businesses operating in that one niche, in that one zip code. Think about this. And they're all making an income between $50 to, $250,000, $500,000 a year profit, just to keep them afloat and pay their salaries and whatnot. Chew on that for just a minute. That in one zip code, there's 42,000 zip codes in the United States. There's probably 10,000 different niches you could get into. So you want to break those numbers down, they're insane. So if you ever think there's a lack of opportunity or a saturation, just keep thinking, man, this is bigger than we'll ever tackle, that anyone could ever tackle. It's enormous, and there's so much money pumping through every local market, which is why I love it.